Back. So folks, sorry, welcome back. The live was interrupted by a call, and so it automatically went off. It was not my intention to end the live. So we are headed towards the west overpass. We just concluded inspection on the east overpass. So
we apologize for the disruption, of course.
So we're going. We're almost at Taylor's residence, and this is where the bridge descends. So from the AB Tower Road junction to here, and the road descends here before the former president's residence. So we're just driving few minutes away. Driving a few minutes away, and from here we will be at the west overpass, and I'll show you where it takes off from. So we are just not too far from that point. It takes off from there. So yeah,
yes, there will be auxiliary roads. We've been having that conversation over and over. There will be additional ramps and auxiliary roads that will be added to ensure that folks coming from the side places can access.
So approximately
also the auxiliary roads, according to the engineers, will be ready before the actual bridge crosses.
Almost at this point,
to ensure that traffic
the road. We're almost at the point where the next overpass will automatically beep and take off, and right at this point where the passenger bus is situated is where we're going to pick up from. So we're going to hear whether progress has been made on this one as compared to the previous one we just inspected. So at this point, okay, it's right around here. The overpass takes off from here. So it takes you in the air. This is where the overpass is here. So from here it takes off, and then you go in the air. So the same inspection that we saw is also being constructed here. So we are right before the Ministerial complex, and from the left angle you see the heavy excavation works are ongoing from both sides. See the excavation works from there, and then from the right angle, of course, the excavation is also working. So they are doing it to ensure that the auxiliary lanes are created, and these auxiliary lanes will be constructed to provide accommodation for vehicles moving. So in the phase of the construction of these projects, the auxiliary lanes will be constructed so that vehicles can use it in the interval while the bridge is being constructed. The bridge project spans over 2 years, and within that time, of course, vehicles will move along this place. There will ultimately come a time where the entire lanes will be shut down for days to ensure that a certain level of progress is achieved. Yeah, so we are right here before the Ministerial complex, and the minister is going to inspect the work. The minister is inspecting the work. So you see right next there is the Stop and Shop supermarket, and in front of the Detour pharmaceuticals. So the auxiliary lanes are being constructed. Earthworks are ongoing. You hear the heavy vibration from the back. The compactor is compacting the soil properly to a standard that's required, and the work is progressing gradually. So you see the contractors are here from this angle, and they will also brief the minister as to the level of progress being made. So all of us are here. This is the director of highway. Then Assistant Minister of Community Services, Detour. Of course, you see the motor grader here. Motor grader, the heavy machines, they are all at work. The truck is bringing the lateral. They're constantly dumping them while the compactor can pass. So you see they're doing heavy excavation in the middle of the road there, and they're doing all of those things for them to blend the center piers of the bridge. The drilling machine is right there, drilling the ground, drilling the center of the soil, and the service links, the auxiliary links are constructed. And so everywhere along the road, real works are ongoing. From the west overpass to the east overpass, the contractors are working heavily. So you're seeing for yourself the reason why we're bringing this live, because we want you to be holding for yourself to know what's going on. This is the Ministerial complex. You can see the drilling machine is there. Even from the rear there, let me see what I can zoom out. Yeah. So zooming out. So you see there. I'm zooming for you to see. Way there, you see machines are all along the road and they're working. And the intent is to achieve this within the contracting period. This road was contracted for 2 years. Within 2 years, the auxiliary links are to be completed. The 2 overpasses must be completed and dedicated within a reasonable time frame. So the government is bent on achieving it, and hopefully 2027 latest, the projects are to be dedicated. So the work is ongoing very tediously, and they're not taking it lightly. So you see the project engineer here is briefing the minister on the formalities of the project. The minister is there, the deputy minister is here. The minister is having a conversation with the project engineer. Of course, the deputy minister for administration, assistant minister for planning and program, Ibrahim Bilite, and then the assistant minister for community services are all here, providing technical support to the minister. So we have the director of highway construction is here, the director of public building construction is here, the director of road maintenance is here. So the minister is here with a host of engineers from the Ministry of Public Works, and they are having technical consultations with the project, with the contractors. And so every time there is a complex issue, they better explain to the minister, they take note, and decisions will be made subsequently. So the contractor explains to the minister on the technical formation of the project, what the project intends to achieve, the speed at which they're moving, the extender at which the project is being constructed, and so forth and so on. The minister is taking note, and there you see the project engineer explaining to the minister on some issues that may have arisen. Sort of a call. So the minister is expressing concern on a certain component of the work. So the contractors are explaining to him to have an understanding of what it is like. And what appears so funny is the translation. The main engineers are not fluent in English. They're Chinese speakers. So when the minister speaks, we have to wait for a few minutes before we get the real interpretation from the Chinese, and the lady interprets it. So it's a little bit funny, but it's interesting right here. So this is the auxiliary lane from the right. The auxiliary lane from the right. it is being constructed. So the bridge mostly is going to be situated at the center of will be in the center of the existing road, and on these sides of the bridge would be auxiliary lanes from the right and from the left respectively. So the bridge will just be in the middle, the center of the existing road. The vehicles will be on, and guess what? It is going to be dual lanes from both ends. Dual lanes from both ends. So it's combinedly going to be a 4-lane road, you know, from both ends. Dual lane, 2 lanes going, 2 lanes coming. Or depending on the space, it could even be 3 lanes from each angles to salvage the traffic. So you see right here, the pavements are clear. Compaction is ongoing. The compactor has to stop because of the kind of human traffic to avoid any eventuality. But excavation works at the rear there are still ongoing from both ends. They're ongoing, and so the retaining wall from the end right opposite the spoon top, spoon FM, the retaining wall is being constructed as much as we saw from the east overpass. The east overpass at the SKD Boulevard junction. We saw the retaining wall that is being built on that side is being built on this side, and so the 2 service lanes are also being shipped to accommodate vehicular flow. So you see all these constructions, all these buildings, they had to demolish, and the businesses had to momentarily close to ensure that the works go on. You know, development comes with a little bit of pain, and sometimes it may appear as though it is a witch hunt, but in actuality it is not. It is meant to develop, and in the aftermath of all these very painful moments, you get to realize and appreciate the extent of development, because the place gets to be more beautiful. There's more access created. There's more convenience, and you can easily travel from one point to another. So it is good. And so where we are, of course, we're going to have an interaction with the minister just in no time. We'll have an interaction with the minister, and after which time, I think from the schedule we should be going to the 540 community. Yes, so this is Era Supermarket. Era Supermarket has to bear the brunt of demolition because it to some extent fell within the project construction site, so within the carriageway, and so it had to bear the brunt of demolition. So they've created a stairways that the staircase rather, and people can go up and access it. So we are right here, and there will be an interaction with the minister in the shortest possible time. We're going to allow journalists to have an interaction with the minister. So you're watching live. You're watching live here along the Topman Boulevard. It is no more a secret. And of course, a lot of things have happened. A lot of things have changed. So the auxiliary road is there. Vehicles are moving in the existing lane. In the existing lane, the bridge will be constructed right at around back. Constructed. And then auxiliary lanes will be created on both sides. So currently, the minister is still carrying out this inspection along with the team, but the contractors have briefed the minister adequately. The engineers have raised the necessary inquiries. Points are being taken. Decisions will be made after critical review of those points, and when those decisions are made, they will be communicated with the rightful people that should be affected as a consequence of the decision, but all will be done in the interest of the country and to serve the common good of Mama Liberia. So there where we are. Afterwards, we anticipate that we'll be going towards the SKD, I mean the peace community, or the 540 community, where a bypass is being constructed to connect the SKD Boulevard, and we'll show you the Allison Street that passes at the back of Kalando up to Oro, and subsequently we'll inspect the road that traverses through Airfield and reconnects Jalatown and onward to central Monrovia. But in the meantime, let's focus our camera on what the contractor is saying to the minister.
Let's try to implement it.
Yes, it's also our support because the cost is higher than the capacity. We can try to...
So right in this session, right in this session, you can do that.
So you just heard the conversation with the minister and the Indian here, recommendations
So thank you. And of course, this is Mr. Ben Yedebo, the technical assistant to the Minister of Commerce. All of the technical decisions that are being taken by the minister are mostly advised about him. They are channeled through him. And so he's here. He's listening to the contractors. So he compiles some basic information. So Mr. Yedebo, I mean, what do you make of today's trip? And what is actually the essence from a technical perspective?
Thank you, Myers. I think the minister deems it necessary that these regular staff visits are important, in as much as we have our technical people, but at the first-hand information, especially from the angle of the ministry, I think it's good that the minister always come on the field to get first-hand information on the progress made, and as well as the challenges being encountered on site. So, for example, a classic example is what we're experiencing right now. You know, city construction has some challenges. There are always new things that come up, and at the highest level, when the highest level has this information, I think it helps to continue and find a solution as soon as challenges to be addressed, and then we can make the progress necessary, of course. But we on course for 2027 dedication of this overpass.
Thank you. That's the most exciting news we want to hear. It comes from Ben Yedebo, the Minister's Technical Assistant. He has again, on behalf of the Minister, reassured to the Liberian public that the project is on course, looking at it from a technical perspective, through a technical lens, a more realistic engineering lens, that the project is on course, and by 2027, of course, we will be dedicated to the project. Move back to our Detour. We move back.
I see how you going. Go ahead.
We move back. Okay. So it is what it is. It is what it is. Of course, we've instructed the east and west overpasses along the Topaz Boulevard, and you have seen for yourselves the extent of progress that we have made collectively as a ministry and as a government. And of course, we have an assurance based on the technical review thereof that the project will achieve is ultimately is
just leaving the LNG.
Oh, sorry for that breaking.
Junction. We also, the minister and the engineers had several conversations. So right now we're heading in the Peace Island area. If you know Peace Island or 540, that's where we're going because the ministry is working on creating a detour in that particular location. But also working on ensuring they can work on the road. Get on back down to Peace Island. So we're headed to Peace Island. We're headed to Peace Island.
So this is Allison Street that passes at the back of the Calando building. So this place is right by the Ministerial complex. It goes to Old Road and subsequently, so that's it. We're driving into the Peace Island community where there's ongoing demolition for the creation of the Detour that we all know that's been widely publicized. And so the creation of the Detour, oh man. Sorry for that transmission. So you see the road has been paved. This road was contracted some time ago. Last year, or 2024, the minister was here and the minister did inspection on this road. And so this has been paved. The marking of the road has been done. So in addition to this, we are doing a detour that passes through here. So from the look of things, it's as though the road may be expanded in the future because it is a major route. Even pavements have been done. Even on the Peace Island, in the Peace Island community, they are carrying out pavement just all around,
possibly 3 islands.
So that's it.
Entire place is surrounded by the swamp.
So you see the Peace Island community that you once knew to be a very dusty community has changed dramatically because there are ongoing works. You see the new demolition of homes. Apparently, maybe there could be expansion. And we're going to see the point where Peace Island will be linked to the SKD Boulevard Road. So that road is going to be historic, and this bypass is going to be very historic. So because of this road, development here is massive, very massive. So this place is good, and it is an ambitious, very ambitious project, So you wouldn't believe that this is being done. This is a major project. So there where we are,
erecting the bridge structure,
and so at this point, Peace Island. So as you can see, upward, the entire place is paved, and so this is, I don't know, this should be the Dolake Street. I don't know, I may be mistaken, but this should be the Dolake Street. So a lot of new constructions are ongoing, and then there are some demolitions so far ongoing as well. So they're going to do expansion of the road from the look of things, because this is not just going to be a bypass that will be treated as a community road, because when you should connect this to the SKD Boulevard, it will be a running corridor. So mostly the government deems it's necessary to have some expansion, or better still create safety by removing structures that are closer to the road and take them a little bit far from the road for safety purposes, or better still, expansion of the road.
But please
So
tell me in the
we're
comment
moving,
section if the sound is
and we
okay as
are
drive
at this
forward.
point. We always see where it connects. So this place, this building belongs to Yeke.
So let's drive on.
Yeke is the operations manager of the Liberia Petroleum Refining Company, and so that place has also been demolished. So it tells you quite well that the demolition exercise that's ongoing is not selective, because it is irrespective of your personality, irrespective of your political connection, it is irrespective of the positions you hold. So it sees no person, regardless of whether you are within the government or not. Your building will be touched once it falls within the bailiwick of the road. So once it is within a carriageway, of course, they're not going to pick or choose what's there, and demolition exercise will be carried out. So that's why that building was destroyed. So we are at this point where the pavement ends and the road goes beyond to a point where it connects the SKD Boulevard. So when the bypass is completed, so it is what it is. So all of you guys are seeing this for yourselves. You see the development is massive as much as the demolition is. So, but the most of it is that these places are not only being demolished, they are being demolished on a very important note. They are being demolished to allow for the construction of a road that bypasses the main top main boulevard, and so it connects Peace Island and Paco Island. So that's it. So those from Paco Island desirous of coming to Central Monrovia will not have to get in car and go way at SKD Boulevard Junction before accessing vehicle. They can just leave from Paco Island, traverse through the Peace Island, bypass the Allison Street and onward to and onwards to and onwards to the main city. So we're here. You see major excavation works are ongoing. The excavator is here, and the company that has the contract, MDMC is here. So, oh my goodness, MDMC is here. The works are ongoing. This place is very massive, and of course, you see where the road is supposed to connect. So you see huge excavation works here. Huge excavation works. Yeah, excavation is ongoing, and it is at this point where this upper side is expected to connect the lower end of the road. So this point, Peace Island will go and connect Paco Island, and so connecting the John Busy Resort to the SKD Boulevard. Wow, sounds so exciting, so exciting. And the minister, as though he's a young boy, never gets tired. He works all day. Since 9 o'clock this morning, we've been on our feet, and we are here. I'm almost tired, but he appears not to be tired. Yeah. So sometimes in my little young age, I'm wishing to have the strength that he has, But again, these things are meant to sacrifice for your country. And so it all boils down to how well you love your country. And so once you appreciate the country to that extent, you can get to do anything for the country that it benefits. So as you can see, these are two neighborhoods long divided by this very swamp, and every time it rained, these two neighborhoods will be divided and will not access each other, except you swim through, or better still walk through the water. And it has been like this for a very long time, but a recent intervention that is being made will watch these two communities be easily connected, and to the extent that they can access each other easily. So you see there, they're breaking down that steep hill. So at the cessation of this project, so here is Paco Island. Paco Island is being connected to Peace Island, at least officially, as a consequence of this project. And the interesting thing is that this is John Yuboti, the CEO of MDMC. He's briefing the minister on what has been experienced during the course of implementing this project. So you can just follow a bit of their conversation.
The access road. Yes. If we have to give anybody compensation for the private land, yeah, that's understood. That is why we want to do. But we were waiting for you. Yes, access road will take us. Right.
So you see, because this is a swamp land, so they're using boulders. So in engineering terms, they are called boulders. These boulders are being placed here to build a solid surface for the application of asphalt. So when these boulders are being placed and then being submerged with the laterite, they create a very hard surface that withstands the pressure and avoids any possibility of sinking in the future. So these are standard engineering techniques that are employed by the contractors to ensure that this road is being built through the swamp. And I'm sure they're going to put a major box culvert here, regardless of what may be unfolding. A box culvert needs to go here, or it will otherwise disturb the flow of water between the two communities. Okay, yes, I just rightly said it. Apparently, there may be a box culvert in front, but if it is not, I'm sure it will be constructed in the future to come. But in the meantime, they're just creating an access connecting the two islands. When these ones are finished, of course, then the two will be connected. So the boulders will be placed here to harden the surface, because this place is mostly swampy, and if care isn't taken, it could possibly jeopardize the essence of the entire project. So engineering wise, they are making the most accurate decisions where necessary to ensure the protection of the project. So we are here, the two islands are connected. So far so good. So inspections are ongoing to ensure the possibility of traversing this road through the Paco Island in a way that connects the SKD Boulevard. And I know some private lands will be encountered, so community dwellers are raising concerns about compensation, which will be handled by the ministry. And I see markings, but to the extent possible, we are quite aware that this place is a road, and so this place is a road. So it is tiring. As tiring as it is, we cannot give up, because we are providing service to our country. And so these are the sacrifices required. Yeah, these are the sacrifices required. And then, of course, I see Emmanuel Freeman here. Emmanuel Freeman is the head of the Special Project Implementation Unit at the Ministry of Public Works, providing supervision for the construction of the overpasses. Of course, the JICA grant to Liberia, the 1.9 kilometer that runs from Freeport of Monrovia to the Gabriel Tucker Bridge, and possibly the Pavic Fort Agreement is going to witness for the first time the longest full-lane road in Liberia that runs from the Sinkor Bridge to Bowater side that connects another country. So he's a very powerful engineer, providing major technical support for the ministry. It is an honor meeting you.
Thank you very much, man. Thank you. It's an honor to be part of the broadcast.
Thank you, thank you. So the minister is here. Consultations are ongoing with the engineers and the community dwellers. Some major concerns are being raised. And so let's hear what the minister has to say.
Don't forget that the way you build to, you draw your fences into the section, is that the dimension that's required for adding in the community. If you were in the property, we understand that. If you come inside our room, we take it, we don't pay you any money. Because you are in the right of way. That's a limit you can be. So now when you gotta be ready to best of pay. You went up there, you saw that. You went to Peace Mountain, so you went there.
Yeah, we went.
You see what happened there? You see some of the poor properties there? Yeah, they build it, but we have to build a road, and if you came in the places where you shouldn't be, we have to demolish it, and you have to take the cost of that. But we have to do or reconstruction, whatever. That's that. But I think to create the assets, well, there's one asset on this almost like one. That's all for now. No, it's one. So we'll be doing what? Three. But the one from up there, the boulevard, the one that comes from the channel, the one that comes from here. So now we have three assets away from the community, which is good.
Good, yeah.
I don't know one way to go.
Of course.
Somebody else will wait for you on the road. One man said he tried for you. When you right there, you put a chair there and sit there with them. They will pass there. But this time around, at the places, you're successful. Yeah. So why you wouldn't go on that side? You can miss the us.
One thing for us, Minister, so the difference between Peace Island and Pacos Island is that, I mean, it's a common secret. Most of the people there, that's part of right.
We're not comparing the difference, right?
But so Pacos Island is privately owned, right? And we heard what the minister said. I mean, we're very conversation with you about those who encroach on the island. It's obvious that those who are on the island do not have any legal right to be there. But then if the road is going to extend into private property,
Let me say this. If the road is still in private if we have to go beyond that into the land, because we want to do all about whatever, we have to. That's a private property.
yeah, excuse me.
The regular island will for now.
The regular island will be clear. We'll clear our. If you're there, we'll move you. We'll just tell you move. Yes. So if you know you're there now, start to move. Tell them, if you see the measurement.
Yeah, what a measurement.
What's the measurement?
There's a standard measurement for
30 foot all day. But when you come down here and reduce to 20, then it goes. Go to 30. It's 30. This is 30. This is 30. So anybody who can anything in that by 10 will take a 10 off. Okay.
Because we have to clear area. We have to start clearing area. So we take to come here tomorrow. Come here tomorrow. Come here tomorrow and do the measurement. Where the tennis stand was extended. Anybody in the middle of the tennis, you mark it for them.
So the Minister of Public Works has ordered the Director of Zoning and Land Use Planning to begin marking Paco Island, structures at Paco Island, and he says that any property that is found encroaching on the main alley will be demolished, and those violators will not be compensated. But in an instant case where the road construction has to be realigned in a way that encroaches on a private property that is neither in violation nor has by any means encroached on the alleyway, of course the government will be magnanimous enough in being respectful of human rights to ensure the construction of the road. So in the construction process, the minister is still very alert, very sensitive of human rights, and so the ministry places much emphasis on that. So the Paco Island citizens, Paco Island residents, are much more concerned about this question, and the minister has provided them the requisite answer, which leaves some of them in doubt, and some of them are also received the clarity they needed, but then it is stirring mixed reactions. But such is the case. Anywhere human beings are found, it is quite obvious that these kinds of actions would be seen. It is becoming very exhausting. I can see MDMC is catching his breath. Yeah, I can see Patrick Kojo. He looks upbeat. Yeah. So it is what it is. It is what it is. It is what it is. So we're here. It has been determined that this place is an alley which is measured by 20 foot upwards on the Paco Island.
Oh, yes. Oh, I saw you that alley. That's the alley. They cannot tell me that. They will go behind that house there and go to that house and say that. Okay, Baba, we hear you. Thank you very much.
Okay, so
Tomorrow, team is coming to do the measurement for 30 feet. Any property within the 30 feet, you mark where we're supposed to do the demolition. The community will not start. We know that it can start. So 30 feet, that's what we're taking from up the way. 30 feet, all the way down. Both sides, okay? Whatever we can do, if there's space to save some property in the limit, we can understand that. But it must be
Mr. Minister, can we ask a question before you leave? On the Peace Island side, there's first of all, my name is Alexander Tito Williams. I live on the Peace Island. There's a 60 feet road coming from here to the buffer zone here of Paco Island and Peace Island. So, the 60 feet, is it appearing this way or it will just remain up to Peace Island? That's my question.
Because these are private property. Legally, what is required? Get to the point where we need 60. For any reason, Paco Island is different. Leave that. Somebody said,
my last question to you, sir. My last question to you, sir. Okay, now we're taking 60 feet from that side, and we see people within the right of way over there. Those houses that are on the right of way, will they become a system because all the houses are break down? No, people in the right of way before they bust up.
Nobody will be compensated on that side. Nobody will be compensated here. You're in the 30 meter. Beyond the 30 meter, because it's your private property.
Okay.
30 meter, nobody will be compensated here. 30 feet. It's not going to happen. On that side, it's different.
Okay.
Okay? If we need additional space, private property will have to pay for it. But for now, the 30 feet, we're going to take it for outlets. Your property within 30 feet will not pay. Now listen to me. When they do the measurement of the 30 feet tomorrow, and it's marked, the best thing you can do self-demolition.
Okay.
Call somebody, let it take the time and call it for you, then you fix it. If you wait for the machine to come, if you wait for the machine to do the demolition, it will cause more harm to your property than if you're self-doing. Because you're self-doing, you can take your time and cut it. If the machine hits, most times it will affect beyond the place that is marked. So we want you to do that.
Thank you,
so
sir.
we're going to start working there.
Thank you, sir.
Okay? All right, yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
My name is
Where they were going and where remain.
They can go and stay, right? I want to know, like I generally say, Peace Island carry 60 feet, and they start carrying 30 feet. It means that the car will not be normal, right? Besides that, why would they, if for any reason the other people will not be compensated? Another thing is that for the past 2-3 years, probably where we mark the road, we know that the people that are supposed to move. But now probably we have got a marking extra space in the course of 2-3 days and breaking down local places where our children go. Peace Island community, that's what I'm talking about. No, you gotta say something about it.
Yeah, that won't finish. I hear what we're talking.
So why not?
Yeah. On that side?
On that side.
Finish with that side. Already.
So, thank you is what it is. Yeah. That's all, man. Come on, man. First down. So it is what it is. The minister has spoken and he has made it emphatically clear. So as a way of supporting the minister's position, reinforcing the ministry's position, the Deputy Minister for Administration explains to some women that have doubts, and he's making them to understand the rationale of what the government is doing, how it intends to help Liberia's road network that in turn will enhance massive economic activities. So he's explaining to them to have an understanding in the midst of their apprehension. So this is where they are. This is where they are. And I see a lot of people. So it is what it is. Yep. So this is Paco Island. So you saw us walking, and it is confirmed that Paco Island is officially connected with Peace Island. The two islands are connected. You can drive your car through there, except you have to endure the steep hill. So the place is getting tense up. Tension is mounting. A lot of people, they're not being violent per se, but they're outraged in expressing themselves. I know where we are. They are outraged. What are you looking at? You're turning your neck. So you can see where the tension is. So we're saying private cornerstone. So the minister has explained that unlike Peace Island, that they will cover 60 feet, they are going to ensure that on Paco Island, because Peace Island is a government property, so those that were there are already illegal, and so properties that were demolished will not be compensated. The owners wouldn't be compensated, but it is a different case on Paco Island. The first thing they're going to do is to originally mark the 30-feet alley that is required by law legally, on which a lot of properties have been punched. But if the need be, where the government may need additional space, then a negotiation could be held, and those additional spaces will be compensated, will be negotiated by the government on the terms of the project. So this is where we are. So for the first time in many years, a lot of people who had vehicles often parked their vehicles up on Peace Island and walked down to Paco Island. But this is a different case as of this moment. The two islands are connected with lateral road, and so it is from here that the road will connect. It's connecting Paco Island and then onward to the John Gbese Resort that connects the SKD Boulevard Road, or the 72nd Boulevard Road as it is commonly called. And at that point, if you live in 72nd Boulevard, red light or so, and you are coming to town, it is needless of using the SKD Boulevard, as this one is a real alternative to the major route. So engineers are having discussions around it. What you see here is a display of technical engineering, where boulders are being placed to solidify the surface of the soil for any rigidity that may happen on the surface. And so these things are being done to withstand the environment based on the soil analysis that have been done. And so this thing is here. Yeah, this thing is massive. A lot of things. Let's hear a briefing from the contractor and see what he has to say and what we can understand from there. So our intent is to serve you, the public, and ensure that you have a fair appreciation of what's unfolding at the Ministry of Public Works with rural network connectivity.
Where you can start using it now. That's intent. Temporarily, while we're doing the construction of the other drainage system, we need to connect it. Okay, that's what we need to do. So you have to come tomorrow and do the dimensional marking, and then but for smaller ones, that you can start doing demolition to open up the alley. There can be some clarity.
Absolutely, we are ready.
So we can start from that side.
We are ready tomorrow. This one we have no bearing on.
So you can go on that side and start doing the clearing.
Absolutely. Tomorrow, right away.
Okay, exactly. So let's do that. Now once you get there, the mark is done, where there will be obstruction, there will be given some time so that we want to connect this.
Exactly.
Basically, the only area we have problem is right between here.
It's right between.
When you go beyond,
There's a road.
Yes.
But besides this road, there are people who got their fences very close to the
market,
road.
and then we do that. Yeah, that way you can knock the fence out.
You have access.
But at least you have the road there. Why you knocking the fence out? What's it connected from SKD
to Pago Island. Yeah, from here, once we climb this hill, then we send additional other equipment on the side.
They want to do structure right there.
Yes.
Yeah, but you mark already? Yeah, yes.
They did
Yeah, but let's go play. Yeah, let's mark the one and let's prepare to play that one. That's
So we're working with the contractor, utilizing the equipment. So that's how we're doing the phases. Once we complete this, next time we'll move on. Absolutely. But so we'll come here on tomorrow with the surveyor. We'll get the center line and find the 30 for the rolling.
So if you want to say, when will you get a power from the SKD bus? It can drive into this area. When can we say?
Two strategies we have. Once we solve this hill that we just climbed, we will fix it up, and cars will start coming from China. So, but we'll be working on it.
Can we do small?
Take time. Yes. It will be well planned. Yes. So the obstacle right now that's from under the hill there to where cars can stop on top of the hill. Once we get that out of the way, we'll recondition the road right away. Cars will start passing here while we are working. Because this box cover that coming here, we're going to leave enough space. The cover work will be going on, traffic will be moving. We're finished with the box cover work, which usually takes about a month. People know. It has to cure and all of that.
Yeah, but at least you have the traffic.
Yeah, the traffic will be moving.
Is that going to be any structural installation outside?
Pago Island and SKD, yes, there'll be another box cover there. Yes, but we will do the same thing to bypass while the box cover work is going on. Welcome, Chief. It's always a pleasure to see you on the site.
Thank you for the hard work.
We are here to serve. And like I told you, the community was very
of course.
So you are listening to the interaction there. Drop your comments. Let's hear what you think about the conversation that's ongoing and the extent of development that's taking place. Let's know what your thoughts are. How do you feel about it? Let's hear what you have to say. We want to get the real-time reactions. If those from Pago Island and Peace Island, respectively, are listening, we can also entertain your comments and know how you feel about it. So that is where we are. Yeah, so far so good. And I think at the beginning there were some reactions, but it's appearing as though the citizens are beginning to understand, the extent of development, and they're beginning to have a fair appreciation of the impact the project will make. So there's no threat so far. No threat so far. Yeah. So thank you for viewing us. So we appreciate. We would like to stop right here. Yeah, and return to our vehicle. Or maybe the next place would be at the airfield. We'll rejoin you from the